Hi, welcome back to me in the summer house at the bottom of the garden. I set you a task yesterday of cutting out 3 pieces of fabric. 2 should look like this. They're 9 inches apart with a sewing allowance and a centre cross going through. I don't know if you can see that. Now if you've got 2 pieces like that, perfect. Remember, these lines should follow the actual weave, and you should have another piece what's over 36 inches long, and it's a 2-inch line all the way along. That line follows one of the weaves all the way to there. So the next bit that we're going to do today is, well, I'm pretty worried about the fraying of this material when we're going to be working with it, because it would quite easily fray. If we've got an overlocker, perfect. We can get our panels overlocked like this. If they're all overlocked, they're not going to fray, and we're going to be able to work with them like that. If, now that you're not at home, I've been thinking, what else could we do, and how we could sort this edges out. First of all, we could use spray glue. To stop the edges fraying, I thought we could use some spray glue. To do this, if we get a piece of paper, put it underneath there first, some over the top. We can just, and that's one method, and that will stop it fraying once it's dried. But then I decided to do the other sides, but I haven't got spray glue. I could use some white PVA glue and paint it on just along the edge. That'll stop it fraying once that's dried, all the way round. If I haven't got PVA glue, much better would be Copydex. If you've got some of that, and go just around the edges. If you haven't got Copydex, how about a nice nail varnish? Hairspray, I reckon, would do the same. That's if we can't overlock it. So that's what I suggest the bits and pieces we do. Next, we need to do some more marking out. On our marking out, we've got some 2 stitch lines coming in, and I suggest that those stitch lines should be around about 1 inch in from the edge. So I'm going to leave my glasses on again. If we come in 1 inch from the edge and pick a twine, that twine is 1 inch away, and I have to follow that twine all the way down. If it's not quite straight, there we go. That's going to be our cushion border line, and these are going to be our sew lines in between. And in between that, say a 1/2 inch, choose another twine, and make sure it's lined up, and draw a line all the way round like that. 1 inch either side, and I might as well mark the 1/2 inch one as well. When we go to here, I get the inch, make sure the twine along, you're only drawing along one line in the Hessian, all the way along. Get the 1/2 inch one, pick a line, make sure you're only drawing along the one line. Do the same on all 4 sides. So 1 inch, I can choose that one. 1/2 inch, I'll choose that one. So as we go along, making sure it's one twine all the way along, because this is what's going to keep everything square. Every time we go along, I'm sure this is the way it's going to be to keep it nice and square. And on the last side, 1 inch in, choosing that, 1/2 inch, get that as a nice straight line. Making sure it's nice and square. Once we've sewn it together, they can be our top stitch lines. Now we're going to need some stuffing ties in the middle of this, and it needs to be marked out. Now the stuffing ties are going to hold it what's nice and square and flat. So I suggest we put in 6 across and 6 by 6. So there's nice lot of stuffing ties in the middle of here. So if I measure from our last sew line to our last sew line, that's 7 inches. 7 inches across, divided by 6. 7 divided 6 equals 1.16. 1 inch and 16th. We can see 1 inch and a 16th. It's about the same as 3 centimetres. So let's go for 3 centimetres. So 3 centimetres. If I go from the cross and I've got an even number, I can't really start on the middle, because if I come out it won't be even. So I've got to come away from the middle. So 1.5 centimetres on both sides would be that twine there. And if I come down 1.5 centimetres, it'll be there. And 1.5 centimetres will be there. So that'll be my first dot. And along this twine, once we've got our first dot into place, I can then go from the 6, I can go 3 along the same twine and 3 along the same twine. That's 6, so that'll be 9. It'll be on this side on the same twine. 12 and then 15, won't it? So if everything's central, that should all be the same. Now I can turn it round and then I can go up the same twine. 3 would be that side, and add on another 3 will be there. 9, 12. So then do that all the way over. They should be exactly the same. So once we've done all that, it should I've done this one earlier. They should have all the dots in there and the side lines. If it's got all the dots and the side lines, Perfect. We're then ready for sewing it together, and what I need you to do is on the end line, the edge line, is just fold it and try to pleat it all the way along, making sure you can see that pencil line along that, because that's what we're going to sew to tomorrow. Okay, so just go all the way round, making sure you pleat it over there. Do that on this piece, on the next piece, and then we've got our border, and we'll be ready to sew it all together tomorrow. See you then.